The Police Minister Bheki Cele is today meeting with the Peace Committee formed to investigate and quell violence in the Phoenix and surrounding areas. At least 20 people died during the unrest over the past 2 weeks. Karinda Jagmohan is on the ground and she joins us now. Karinda, as we touch base with you this afternoon, what do we know so far about the meetings that are taking place?
Good day to you, Tommy. Good day to our viewers. Walk with me as we speak, because as you come to us, the police minister has already started addressing the community. Now, he came here this morning to speak to members of the community in the Phoenix and surrounding areas, Amaoti, Zwelisha, Bambai. They're all here and they're hosting a prayer service following the number of people that have died in this area during the unrest that we saw over the past 2 weeks. He's also here to address matters of racial tension, racial profiling that have been happening at roadblocks, some of the roadblocks across the city of Durban. Here we're just going to try and listen in to what he's saying at the moment.
Akufanele impilo zabantu kube impilo ecabanga ukuthi usanele privilege. Ingakho kuzofanele uhulumeni abuze ukuthi kwakwenze njani, abathole labo bantu bakwazi ukuthi bajeza, kwazi nje ukuthi kufa abantu kuphele kanjalo. Abaziyo bayabathi akwazi ukuthi izingwenya zidle izinyane lemvubu ucwebeza iziko. Kufanele ukuthi caca ukuthi kufa abantu la kube khona isibonakaliso, kube khona ukuphendula kulokho. Sicela ukuba bafishane-ke lesize kulo mhlangano usuphelile, kwathi ngoba nikhona bese ngingadlula nje singasanibonanga, sikhale sonke, sikhale kanye nani. Otherwise cishe isonto lonke manje sihleli la Zwelisha, i-Live, Bambai, sibuya e-Phoenix, ngoba mase kudlule konke lokhu abantu kuzofanele baba abantu kuphela ubulwane, babuyisane, baphathane njengabantu. Abenze izinto engezona bajeze, kodwa impilo emva kwalokho kuzofanele ukuthi iqhubeke. So lo sinta la-ke siba khona. Ngibonge mfundisi, ayishingo somthandazo ufule mfundisi. Ubani lo wephethe imfuthane? Ozufuthe ngingakayihambisi. Njalo nje banidlulisa nemifuthi.
So that was the police minister speaking to some members of the community. And you can see here he's going to, I think, be speaking to them personally as well, following the loss of lives we have seen in this around these very suburbs. Now, there's also some questions being raised as well about the number of bodies that have been seen at the Phoenix mortuary. We see some members of the maybe you can actually speak to him. Minister, live on Newzroom Afrika. It's been a very, very busy week for you, Minister. Just tell us, you met with the Peace Committee now. What have they had to say?
The first thing is a committee that is quite close to the community, because they gave us how the communities feel. The police have met some members of the community. They have raised things. One thing that they are raising is a speed that these matters should be resolved, especially the murder and the killing of the people. That one is quite on the top of the agenda. But also, it has been working with Premier was here yesterday, as you know, the burial, but also to find other people that are still missing. One was found yesterday. We believe that we need to close that chapter where we find everybody. But there are other things that have been raised with the mayor, they've been raised with the MEC, that could be material. There are very poor communities. They just want to work around that and see how those communities can be assisted.
Minister, have we clarified at this point in terms of how many people have indeed died and what these deaths are related to, the unrest itself or the racism and the racial profiling on the ground?
It's exactly what we need to find. So there are figures that are very exaggerated. For instance, if they talk about 5 500, they talk about 300. The MEC was here yesterday of health. There are 128 dead bodies in the mortuary here. And this is a regional mortuary of North. It's not just here. But what will confirm is the post-mortem that the doctors will be running. The MEC also help us increase the pathologists to be able to deal with those people that died through the bullets, but also to determine if they died out of this conflict that took place around Phoenix and surrounding areas. The number up to this point remains 20, but one more person was found dead. 21 is exactly what the committee and the police must give us exact number of the people that died because of the conflict. But the mortuary goes far beyond this place, so people that are there could have died naturally, but there might be people that have died either hurt or shot, but out of the conflict. As you know, that there will be still criminality out there. But up to this point, we're talking about 21 people.
So, Minister, just lastly, we have seen that the police did not have resources from the beginning of this. They couldn't go into the crowds while people were looting. What lessons have you learned? What are you going to do as the Minister to make sure, if we see this again, our police are going to be capable enough to stop what is happening?
Well, as you know, that at the present moment, the police are supported by the South African National Defence Force, better coordinated with the municipality, the mayors here, municipality police, the South African National, the police themselves and all. We believe that next time we have our lessons that we learned, and indeed we'll be utilizing those lessons that we have learned, and we'll do better as the time comes next time. Surely life will be better next time than it was.
Minister, before I let you go, did you receive an intelligence report from the State Security Minister?
I've answered that question.
Did you receive the report?
I've answered that question in the portfolio committee.
You did not receive the report?
I've answered that question in the portfolio committee.
Okay, thank you very much. The Police Minister speaking to us. We're just going to get away a bit from the speakers. First telling us just about the bodies that we have seen in Phoenix. He says the number remains 20 in terms of what we have seen on the ground, at least 20 at this time. We understand one body was found earlier this week, but then also going on to say that at this time they understand that they need to increase the capability of police resources going forward. They were not able to handle the unrest on the ground. And then as well asking him, did he receive an intelligence report from the State Security Minister while we were seeing the start of the violence unfolding yesterday at a meeting of the Joint Standing Committee on Defense. He said he hadn't received these reports, and now he says that his answer remains the same. His answer remains according to what he said yesterday at that meeting, which is that he did not receive intelligence reports regarding this matter from the Minister. This is what we are seeing on the ground. We're going to keep following him as well. He's expected to now meet with the detectives that were deployed to this area to investigate the violence and unrest here in Phoenix. He's expected to meet them later today or this evening, we understand, to get a further update on what their investigations are at this moment.
Karinda Jagmohan, thank you very much. She comes to us live from KwaZulu-Natal, the police minister there in the community following the killings that took place in Phoenix as well. And as you heard him say, bodies are still being discovered, several bodies are still missing. And the gathering that he was attending now was with a church and members of a congregation, him highlighting that it's important for prayers to be made and to acknowledge the suffering of the people and acknowledge the fact that people have lost their lives, and that at some point normality will have to return and Ubuntu has to return. But also he highlighted that it is important for justice to be done, that there have to be arrests, and the people behind these killings also have to be found. We'll touch base with our reporter Karinda Jagmohan a bit later on this afternoon.